Barbie!
I told you to wait in the dream house.
Boys, avenge me! Avenge me! Avengers!
Bazinga.
Scruffy-looking nerf herders.
Ethan Hunt contacted you?
I am good, Rooster. I'm very good.
So you are Yoi's a trainer who trains.
Gonzo the Great will ride this baby again.
Hello and welcome to episode 124 of the Real Serious Podcast. It's a Jack and Hunter episode today, and I'm in a new space. I've been moving all week, so I am half moved basically. So the space will evolve over the next couple weeks of episodes until it gets to its final form. But until then, this is where I'll be recording from. But Jack, how are we, man? Missed you guys last week.
I know. We missed. It was so funny because when I started last week's episode, I was like, I don't know. As soon as the intro started playing, I was like, like back in routine, and I just completely forgot that you weren't here, and I was like leading it. So there's like an awkward 5-second pause. Maybe it wasn't that long, where I'm just sitting here and I'm just looking at Charlie, and then I was like, oh crap, I gotta say something.
No, I listened to you boys last week. No, it sounded like a good one. Definitely bummed I missed the Disclosure Day talk because I have some thoughts on that, which we can touch on a little later. But no, good episode from the boys, and we got a short probably, but packed of big hitters episode today.
Yeah,
some real heavy hitters.
I feel like these are all very important topics of the pod too. I feel like a lot of these are we've touched on. We're weekly or bi-weekly updates, especially the man in the red suit. Yeah,
and in that case, he's referencing Shrek in a red shirt.
No, well, I was saying with you moving in, you gotta get the TV up in the room so when you're unpacking stuff, you can kind of multitask.
Oh, I know.
Just casually, you got to put something on that you're not going to completely stop.
I've had
watch.
I've had a laptop on in the background. I've been doing a lot of Seinfeld, just
nice.
In the background while I'm doing things, and then I've been doing a lot of YouTube video essays on movies. So they're basically almost like podcasts. A lot of times video essays are not visual. I've been learning some interesting stuff this last week. So I'm doing some of that, some deep diving on those things.
That's fun. I want to watch more of those. Where do you go for your essays?
I'll just type into YouTube a movie I like and then video essay and then see which ones are kind of there. And then if I like one of the videos, I'll go to that person's channel and just start clicking on random ones. And then I'll go to rabbit holes for that person. And then once I feel all right, I've caught up to this person, I'll do it again for a new movie I like, and then just kind of keep going in the rabbit hole. You can fill hours pretty quickly like that.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying earlier, I got to a point last night where I had 30 minutes before I was going to go to bed. And I was like, do I just scroll TikTok or do I just go straight to bed?
Yeah.
And I found myself scrolling TikTok, and I ended up watching a 10-minute clip of the Lars and the Real Girl.
Yeah, I keep getting those on my TikTok too. What's up with that?
It's literally the entire movie.
Yeah,
but it's between his brother and the Have you seen it?
The full Lars and the Real Girl? No, I keep getting my TikTok just inundated with Lars and the Real Girl.
Point being, I've seen the movie. I think the movie is fantastic. I think it's Ryan Gosling's probably one of his best performances. But
the Gosling,
dude, that showed up on my feed, and I look at the time, and it's 10 minutes, and I was like, do I watch this? Dude, I watched the entire thing. No 2x speed, nothing. I just sat there and watched I don't know, but it was great.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to I want to start watching some documentaries. I feel like those would be fun.
Oh, that'd be good.
Specifically and there's got to be a Marvel documentary out there kind of talking about the Russo's journey of making
they did
the Marvel movies.
Well, hey, shout out to physical media, because a lot of times on those discs they have the behind the scenes stuff that you can jump into. But there was a period of time, I think it was from Black Widow through, I think, Brand New World or Brave New World. they did like those one-shot documentaries on Disney Plus after the movie's released. Those are pretty interesting. They're like 20 minutes, and they're like cool behind the scenes stuff. But no, I definitely recommend jumping onto the Blu-rays. They got some good behind the scenes stuff on there.
I know
for sure.
I'm
sure they're all over YouTube too if you want to pull them up. Like
maybe they have it on those steelbooks I was talking about earlier. Those Avengers steelbooks.
Yeah,
some behind the scenes. So maybe just more of an incentive to pick those up.
I think I'm surprised there wasn't like a long form documentary and like recap after Endgame. Like, I'm shocked that didn't like exist.
Yeah, you would think they would do it for this, right?
Or you think like during COVID, while they were looking for things to do, like they would have made that while everyone was just kind of stuck at home. They're like, all right, everyone get on Zoom. We'll do like a long form thing, and they just
we found some long lost footage of Robert Downey Jr. on his final day on set.
Yeah, there is some fun stuff like I see on TikTok of like them dressed up, and it's like you'll see him in the first Iron Man dressed up actually in the suit. By the time they get to the end, he's just like in like a mocap suit, and you're like, all right,
no,
now I know why this looked worse.
Yeah,
no, but no, I'm with you. Maybe I'll jump into some documentaries. I like that idea.
Yeah, trying to increase my ball knowledge.
I'm trying to get absolutely smarter when it comes to cinema. Yeah. All right, let's jump into Toy Story 5. So unfortunately, due to moving this week, I did not have a chance to jump into Toy Story 5, but I will set you up, Mr. Jack. So let me pull up the old synopsis here real quick. Toy Story 5. When Bonnie receives Lily Pad tablet as a gift and becomes obsessed, Buzz, Woody, Jessie, and the rest of the gang's jobs become exponentially harder when they have to go head-to-head with the all-new threat to playtime. Tim Allen, Tom Hanks, Joan Cusack, Greta Lee, Conan O'Brien, Craig Robinson, and the usuals are back for the 5th installment in the Toy Story franchise. Jack, what did you think of Toy Story 5?
I think it's a good movie. I think if you have kids, there's no reason why you wouldn't take them to go see this. And I haven't gotten to the point where I've watched a Toy Story movie yet and be like, wow, they're selling out. Like, this is just a terrible product. And maybe that's not necessarily the point we need to get to before we stop making them, you know?
Yeah.
But personally, I'm amongst the group that liked Toy Story 4. Do I think it is 1, 2, or 3? No. But it's a good movie. And I'd say, unfortunately, I think Toy Story 5 was my least favorite of all the Toy Story movies. I've seen a lot of people still throwing this ahead of 4. And I think it's just become a really hot thing to do now.
Yeah.
A very trendy thing. Just like, oh, Toy Story 4 sucks. I remember watching it, and I had a very emotional reaction to that movie because to me, it almost felt like they were saying goodbye again. You know? Obviously, even though like when it came out, they're like, yeah, Toy Story 5 is already happening. Like, it's already in production.
Yeah, like we're working on it.
Yeah. But I will say, I think this story does a lot of things right. I think that it gives Jessie the time of day to be the main character. And I like that, especially Toy Story 2 being my favorite movie. I think her introduction to the franchise was one of the more exciting moments we've gotten. And I think that her own, like, having this time to develop her character a bit more is exciting. But with that being said, I think this movie, one of the areas that I don't love as much is because it's so focused on Jessie. I don't really feel like we get a lot of that Toy Story family-like experience where they're all together. You know, I feel like they are separated for the most of the movie rather than they are together. And to me, what makes those Toy Story movies so special is when they are together, you know?
Yeah.
And we get new characters, and the new characters are fun. And obviously they're voiced by people that you would recognize, you know? I don't know. I liked it. I think I'd recommend people to go see it. I think it has a good message and it has something to say. And again, I think if Toy Story movies continue to have something to say and have a message that they want to tell, I'll show up for them. I think as soon as I leave a Toy Story movie and I'm like, yeah, that wasn't very good. That really didn't resonate with me. It didn't have any emotional impact, that'll probably be the day where I'm like, all right, I don't think I need to watch these anymore. But it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So
did they go the full like iPad's bad route, basically?
interesting, because I like, sure, technology is portrayed in a certain way in this movie, but I don't think it's like fully like all technology is bad.
Yeah.
I think it's more or less like finding a good like middle ground is important.
Yeah.
Because I think especially with kids now, you find it where they're introduced to iPads and they can have, oh my gosh, like instant gratification with all these games where they get, I'm sure it's like dopamine or whatever, just pop it off in their brain whenever they're playing, cookie clicker or something,
Yeah.
And I think it is good to find a middle ground, because I think that technology can be helpful for many ways. Like it can help you connect with people. I don't think at that age necessarily technology is good for that. I think probably like our age, kind of like young adult to early adult. I think that, I'd say anyone that is like basically at like 16 or above, like it's a good opportunity to like find people that are interested in something like in a similar capacity to you, and
For sure.
really like learn about it, dive into it. But I think at a very young age, I just think that kids should be playing with toys. Like they shouldn't be glued to this iPad, because it just feels wrong, because at that age you learn so many skills to like interact with other kids. And I think when you go to interact with these kids and you're like glued to your iPad, a lot of those skills that you should be learning kind of get lost. And I think that can seriously, hurt you in the future. And I think that this story kind of does discuss that theme of we are better when we engage with one another in a face-to-face manner instead of over a screen. And I don't think it fully went the route like, oh, like all technology is terrible. You should never give your kids an iPad ever. To me, it didn't go that hard, but I think it does really make parents think, hey, is this something that's good for my kid, instead of just convenient for me to give them so that they're not, bothering me or complaining or whining, which is valid.
No, I think that's very fair.
Which this comes from a guy that does not have kids. So
I mean,
I don't know how valid my opinion is, but I think all of us can agree that if I were to have kids, something that is the most important would be making sure that they know how to interact with people. And I think that parents would want their kids to grow up with the skills necessary to be able to interact with other kids and not just be glued to their device.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some really great emotional beats in this movie. Kind of teared up like several times. Can't say that like, and I don't really think it's like a nostalgia thing with like Jesse and like Buzz or Woody, but like I think what they do here with Bonnie and Emily is great. I kind of like that how they've included both of them in these movies.
Did they do the Poe Dameron Palpatine somehow Emily returned?
I think the way that they do it is honestly pretty good.
Okay.
I don't hate it. I don't hate, because obviously I think bringing back characters like that where it's convenient.
In 6 Andy's coming back.
Movie.
You already know
what?
In 6 Andy's coming back.
Yeah. He's he finds the toys at a Goodwill and he's like, oh my gosh, no way.
I know you guys.
It is funny though, because I think a lot of people remember after 3, and
3's ending is just so good.
It is. It's perfect, and it's the ending to Andy's story. Andy is out of the picture, but I think realistically, if you think like, sure, you could think about these characters and be like, all right, what are they going to live with Bonnie forever? Like that's just going to be like it for them. Like is Bonnie going to be this 6-year-old girl forever? That's just not going to work out. So I think I honestly, if you want to keep the trilogy on its own and not include 4 and 5, I don't blame you. But I think these movies do have something positive to contribute, especially to like kids nowadays. Like I'm if I'm a parent now, I'm incredibly happy that I can take my kids to go see a Toy Story movie in theaters and almost even recreate a fraction of the nostalgia that this franchise was able to build for us when we were kids.
No, I think that's very fair. The two things for me that Toy Story is fascinating with me is like how toys have evolved over the last 20 years, almost like 30 years now, if we're talking like the first one. I mean, like if you look back at 2 and it's like Al's Toy Barn, like stores like that just don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like kids just don't play with toys to the level that they did. And that's what always amazes me, that like this resonates so much with kids. But I think it's evolved to like resonate more with like parents, where it's like, yes, it's almost a nostalgia thing you're showing your children, but like it's also like a throwback to a time that doesn't exist anymore. Because like I don't know if you have like little cousins or stuff, but like I remember like when my cousins were like 10 or 11, and there just like were no more toys for Christmas and stuff. It's just like they just don't want that anymore. And it's just like when did that change? And it's just I think it's very interesting to see this evolve over time, because I do think that if in 6, which you know is going to come, that would be a very interesting conversation where like the villain literally in and of itself is like almost culture. Like it's just like time, we've moved on. Like toys have just kind of gotten forgotten about because of the next thing. And yeah, I know in 5, obviously the iPad is like the next thing, but like there's just a culture around it that people just don't do anymore. And the other thing I think is maybe funny but interesting is like it's been 16 years since Toy Story 3, but there's a longevity of that film. Like it doesn't feel like we're that far away from like the Andy era, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been in the Bonnie era, but like we've been in the Bonnie era longer than the Andy era ever even existed. And it just doesn't resonate as much. And I wonder if that's obviously nostalgia from, your and my perspective, but I think culturally overall, like it is interesting to see the lesser cultural impact of everything after 3. Like 4 is not like a film people like reference or talk about. It's more just like, yeah, that was good. It happened. And it's like, but 1, 2, 3. And I wonder if 5 will have the same fate.
I feel like 4 though.
I liked 4. I just think it's a step down in comparison. But that's a hard comparison to make.
I just feel like the first couple of movies, especially the connection and how much Woody wants to be with Andy, and how much significance he places on that relationship with him. I feel like as an audience member, you feel that weight too.
Yeah,
like Andy is his, that's his kid, and like it's his job to be there for Andy. Yeah, and I almost think when he makes that change to, you know what, like I can be here for anyone. It doesn't have to be just Andy. I'm not going to say that makes that feeling.
Well, I think it's him rejecting,
but I think it does,
because like in 4, he rejects being with Bonnie, right? Like he picks Bo Peep. So like, I feel like as an audience member, since Woody is your main person in this case, like you almost also reject Bonnie, where you're just like, well, if Woody doesn't feel like he needs to be with Bonnie to succeed, then why would I need to be with Bonnie to succeed?
Yeah, and I mean,
I don't know. That's the way I always felt about it, where it's just like, Woody is the audience surrogate in all these movies, and if Woody does something, like that's the thing that I agree with.
That's fair.
I don't know. I really like all these. I am going to see this. I will see 5, and once I finally do, I'll definitely get my thoughts. But I do think though, it is insanely impressive that they're able to churn out quality 5 movies in.
Yeah.
Another franchise I know had a great movie 5 movies in. Shout out Fast and Furious.
They're exactly the same thing.
They're the same franchise about
family.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, basically what they do with those cars, it's like someone's like playing with them like they're toys,
Yeah, and a lot of times the villains in the Fast and Furious movies is advancements of technology. So pretty similar, actually, if you think about it.
Wow. Maybe we could get a comparison going in a little video or something.
Yeah, do new video essay. Toy Story 5 and Fast 5
are they so different?
Yeah, are they so different after all?
Yeah, but I mean,
kind of is Tom, if you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, he's balding.
Yeah, he is.
I guess that's enough. Who would Buzz be then?
Buzz would be. It's Buzz. I mean, if you think back to Toy Story 1, Buzz is kind of the Rock. Coming in, shaking it up. They have to do a fight, and they realize in the end that they're bros.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Everything goes back to Fast and Furious. All roads lead back to family. No, so what did you give Toy Story 5 out of 100?
Yeah, I'm probably at like a 73, 74.
All right, fair enough.
I'll go 73.
Fair enough.
But I think it's solid. I think that it's a nice entry. I think these movies are slowly kind of declining in maybe in terms of how much they resonate with me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Fair.
I don't think this movie is completely unjustified in its existence.
Yeah.
So
I think that's fair.
We'll see.
All right. Let's jump into real quick. I'm going to do some Disclosure Day thoughts since I missed that last week, and then we'll get into some news and some trailers. So I'm going to go full spoilers for Disclosure Day. It's been out over a week, so if you haven't seen it yet, too bad. Obviously, your guys' thoughts last week. You guys talked about, it's Charles obviously liked it quite a bit more than you did. I am more in your camp. I found this to be very sloppy and disappointing. Yeah, and the more I've sat with it, and the more I've kind of gotten away from it, the less I like it. Which is usually the opposite for me for Spielberg movies, where like you start to just like you're like, wow, that was pretty good, and then it's like, no, but this part and this part, that grows on you more and more until you're like, hang on, this was kind of a masterpiece. This, unfortunately, the opposite for me. And a few big issues for me. I'm going to call it the Star Wars prequel problem, which is actually is going back to what you said. I want to watch some film documentaries on Disney Plus. A great Star Wars documentary is, I think it's called like The Story of Light and Magic or something. It's about George Lucas making the prequel trilogy. It's really incredible. In there, there's a great moment where George Lucas is sitting back and realizing he may have gone too far in some places because no one said no to him because he's George Lucas. And I think Spielberg had a very similar thing on this one. There was too many ideas. There's some very interesting ideas, but there's too many that doesn't allow time for things to cook. So like diving into religion, how does that play a factor when there's a alien life? It's interesting, but you just touched on it. How does culture tie into that? We didn't even really get to touch on it, but it was supposed to be a huge part of what's going on. In the background of everything happening, there's a World War III starting. It's like, hang on, that's also interesting. Like, what does that mean for the greater picture here? Secret government organizations, like there's so many ideas. The magical powers, these sticks that have magical. It's like there's so many interesting things here that are happening, but because there's so many, everything feels half-baked, which is very unfortunate in my opinion. But I will say, I think my two biggest issues, unfortunately, was the Josh O'Connor storyline. I find him to be basically useless in this plot, which I think is a real shame, because they make him seem so integral, but he really isn't. Like, if he didn't get abducted when he was a kid too, would that have changed the story at all? No. Honestly, I think if he wasn't abducted as a kid at all, it would have almost made me like the story a bit more, because it seems like he had a horrible experience in comparison to her, who got like almost omniscient powers, and he was just like, this is the worst thing ever. And then on top of that, like, I think the girlfriend plot with him, they had zero chemistry.
I am
Just
totally with you.
shocking
1000%.
Yeah.
It was so frustrating.
Insane. And then like the whole like ending, I think Spielberg showed his age here a little bit at the end for two reasons. Number one, the scene where they're disclosing, and it's the media and all the news clipping back and forth, I think is very powerful stuff. I think it loses a bit of its magic and gravitas when you realize in our current day culture and world, the news has lost basically all its respect and all of its weight that it had maybe 30 years ago or prior to that. No matter which side of the political aisle you fall on, I think you could probably agree with that statement that the news has kind of lost a lot of its everything that was the news.
A lot of its weight. Yeah.
Yes. And I think if you're Spielberg, who's in his, I think, 80s or late 70s now, you remember a time when the news was everything. And so watching it, there's a bit of like that old man respects the news thing, because I do think it's very funny that this, Josh O'Connor character, who's supposed to be like this whiz kid on the computer, wouldn't just upload all of this to like Twitter immediately. And then I do also think it's funny, the Spielberg of it all, like everyone pausing and stopping to like watch it all. Yes, it's a magical movie moment where like everyone's on their phone staring at it. But I also think that if we're being real, a lot of people would not care or like not believe it. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves. They could have an alien walk out live tonight on, Jimmy Fallon and be like, here it is, here's the aliens. And half of the world would be like, nuh-uh. And I think, and that the frustrating thing for me is you want to be left with questions. So like, as someone who really likes Close Encounters of the Third Kind, another Spielberg alien movie, you're left with a lot of questions, but those questions are fascinating. The questions I'm left with in Disclosure Day are frustrating because they're infinitely more interesting than the movie you've given me. And that's what's frustrating. It's like the movie is Disclosure Day. The whole trailer, the whole marketing leading up is, we're going to disclose this. The world's not ready. We're going to do it. And then you finally do it, and you do a Michael Bay cut to black. And it's just like, I get it that the story maybe wasn't this, but also the interesting stuff happens after the cut to black.
Yeah, and again, I don't mind when a movie does that. I don't mind when they bring a lot of interesting ideas, talk about a lot of interesting
Yes, but then you gotta be tighter leading up.
I agree. Because especially with the trailer, the title being Disclosure Day, seeing what they said on the trailer, I could have guessed would have happened in this movie. Sure, I probably wouldn't have guessed that they got abducted. I probably wouldn't have told you that.
No, but it's in the trailer. Again, it's in one of the trailers.
Yeah. But again, I just think a lot of the emotional weight that you're supposed to feel in this movie, I never had it. I just, they wanted to bring me along this journey, and they wanted me to get excited for these characters. They wanted me to get scared for these characters. And I just never felt any of that. And it's so frustrating when it's a project like this where there's no doubt that like Spielberg still has I still think he has the sauce behind the camera. I mean, there's several sequences in this. There's several sequences in this movie where I'm like, you know what? Like I'm almost in awe of how the camera is moving and how it's not just like 50 different cuts, Again, for me, it's like, and I think we're very similar. It's like, you got to make me feel something for these characters to get me invested in this story.
Yeah, I
didn't
a lot
of that falls on Josh O'Connor's character, considering we're with him, and a lot of the heavy sequences in this movie are on him. And look, by no means am I saying it's Josh O'Connor's acting ability that didn't do this. I just think I genuinely think it's a script.
I do as well. I think the script is very weak.
He's trying. I think he's trying to make this as emotional of a performance as he can make it. But I just think what he's given, like, they thought it was going to be some profound message, when in reality they're just telling us a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it's a tap on the religion part,
dude, which is super interesting.
It is 1000%. And they just kind of throw in the nun in that sequence whenever it's like convenient, whenever they just want to have like a little blurb about religion and if there is extraterrestrial life out there and what that means for that. What ticked me off so much while I was in the movie theater is when I listened to the trailer, and when we discussed this, when they state the phrase, why would he create such a vast universe only for us?
Fast, great line.
Incredible.
Yes.
That is probably the only time that they discuss that idea for the rest of the movie.
That should
Like,
be the movie.
I'm so frustrated that I watched the movie and they said that, and that is it.
Yeah.
And they basically just threw the nun in for a phone call to talk to Jane. And I understand that Jane's internal conflict of she believes what she believes. Should she do, does she think this is good for people and their religion? Like at the end of the movie, obviously she thinks this is for the betterment of everyone as she turns in the device. But still, I just think that you get lost in that story there. And the ideas that you really want to feel, you just don't feel them. And obviously there's people out there. And I think this movie's just been very polarizing. I think there's a lot of people that, and it sucks because it's a Spielberg movie. And I think Spielberg movies are generally kind of like crowd pleasers. Is that?
I mean, this movie was huge. This movie is huge. Like the box office is insane for it. I think it was the second.
How's it doing the second weekend?
I don't know yet. So you want to check that out. The two things that frustrate me also from Disclosure Day is, number one, I think Emily Blunt gives a great performance here. And she does kill it. But the other thing that really frustrates me is I think that there's a great movie in here and they abandon it because I think the great movie is if you keep Wyatt Russell around. If you keep Wyatt Russell around and let me paint this for you. Keep Wyatt Russell around and remove Josh O'Connor entirely. Have Wyatt Russell be the audience surrogate where you're like, I don't think this is real. I don't really believe it. And have his crazy girlfriend start to have this weird thing go on and have him along for the ride, slowly be believing what's going on. And then by the end, he helps disclose the information. That feels more Spielbergian than anything. It feels more like Jaws. Like it feels just more like an easier thing. The issue I also have with this is there's no like mystery, but they pretend there is about the disclosure. Like they almost want you to be like, well, is it real what they're disclosing? And it's like, duh, obviously, yes, she's doing crazy words and you have all this videotape. Like, what are you talking about? It's just like, and then it's like, well, then don't make it an alien mystery movie. It's like, I think it's just.
I will say,
man, I don't know.
I thought the footage was cool.
The footage was cool, but like, I also don't want to be watching a screen recording a second screen to see, hey, there's aliens. It's like, give me some more sauce, Spielberg. Like, come on. You had more sauce in 78 when you did, Close Encounters.
I like the idea that they showed up as animals so that they would not, be perceived as dangerous or scary. I like that. I did. I will. That being said, though, I thought the animals looked really bad.
I liked the idea of it, but then they undercut the idea because Josh O'Connor's afraid of the animals. So like that's where it's like
well, yeah, I mean, like that's just because of his experience.
I know, I'm with you on that, but like that's where it's like that's where I think he's a hindrance to the story because it seems like he had such a horrible experience with everything, unlike her, who like remembers it almost joyfully, that it makes you not like the aliens. If the whole thing is like, oh, the aliens are good, then why was his experience so horrible? It's like the SNL skit of Kate McKinnon where like the two have like great alien abduction stories and she's like, that's not what I
have. Yes.
Yes. That's what it feels like where Josh O'Connor's like, that's not my experience at all.
That's a great pull.
Yeah.
That
it's like
such a good
and Emily Blunt's like, no, I had a wonderful time. It was like great. I got these cool powers. And Josh O'Connor's like, this has been horrible. Like I hated all of this.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just disappointing. But I mean, he's got that Western coming up next, and maybe that will start to rein him in on some big ideas. And I do feel as though a Spielberg Western, which might be maybe one of his last films, feels like a home run. I really do. I think this was his swing for the fences. After a couple of years of doing a remake and rediscovering himself in The Fabelmans, and now it's like, all right, let's go. Let's do a big swing, and now we'll end it with a Western. Like that just feels right. So I'm very excited for the Western eventually. But no,
do you have a cast for that just yet?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't think so. I think he was great here.
See, I liked him, but I don't think he fit in with this movie
because he was just a regular. That's where it was. Like he's the only regular person in this, and because everyone else is so kooky. he seems like a weirdo.
Well, not only that, I feel like the tone we get just from him and Emily Blunt like running around together, it feels like they're in some like rom-com movie.
Yes.
And then we cut to like some
Cut
government
to the other
chase
couple
down,
who's just like, I will literally stab you.
fighting for their life. Zero chemistry, and they're like
Yeah.
fighting for their life to stay alive against this dude that has the ability to basically kill them both.
Josh O'Connor hiding behind a chain link fence was very funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to see me. This chain link fence is in the way.
Well, dude, it was frustrating too, because I feel like with Colin Firth's character, I think there's an interesting route to go down. I think a lot of this was they told us like in the situation in his conversation with Coleman Domingo.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the highlights of the movie for sure. Discussing, after he lost his wife, he kind of lost his ability to, have empathy for other people, and he just kind of distanced himself. And I think that's a great, I thought that entire sequence
really
was great. But I think the fact that it's like brought up then, and then it's relevant at the end of the movie when they're about to disclose it, and he's just like, yeah, all right, it's fine. Go ahead, disclose it.
Yeah.
It was frustrating because I think there's so many there's too many things in this movie that were just convenient.
Yes. And then there's also like the secondary villain who then gets mad at him for giving up, but then he gives up.
I know.
So that's why I thought it was weird too. It's like, all right, if you're going to get mad at Colin for for quitting, it's like, all right, I get you. Because the whole time, like, he's quit twice now, we've seen, and both times you've then taken over. Why now at the end? You're right there. Take over. Like, I don't know. I feel like he should have done something.
I agree. Whether it's a confrontation and whether it's on TV, I think that's perfect. I mean, I think that would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, dare I say
that to me at least would have got like that would have been an excuse for people to tune in to this news broadcast of like a government agency is literally holding hostage an anchor on live television for trying to deliver this news. Like that would have been like a tune-in moment, and then maybe that's where she defeats him or whatever with the stick of truth, and then they start to disclose, and it's like, all right, everyone's already in on it now. They believe it because the government agency is already there. But like Colin Firth just sitting in a chair watching the it's like, give me some. Like I don't know.
And I feel like his character could have been really interesting.
Yeah.
Whether I think they give us a flashback of his life before, like a lot of this stuff in this movie just felt like such a mystery, and all these characters felt like you just had to keep guessing on who they were or what their motivations were. I mean, motivations were pretty clear. I will say that. The only
person we got any kind of backstory on really was Emily Blunt. And with that, the backstory is her relationship and like that morning with Wyatt Russell, who then leaves the movie 25 minutes in. So it's like the two people that I know at least who they are prior to this happening, you've removed one of them 20 minutes in the movie. And the other one is so different from where she started that she doesn't feel like the same person we got introduced to. It's like that's where you lose me. And I think that, and I hate to be that guy, but like you go back to old Spielberg, like Close Encounters, like that's probably the easiest example, Close Encounters. You get to know those characters before the encounter begins, so you can see their journey of falling into this crazy world of aliens. And it means something because you knew who they were prior. I don't know who Josh O'Connor was before this. I barely know who Emily Blunt is before this. I don't know Colin Firth. I don't know Coleman Domingo. So all I know is them during this, and it just doesn't hit the same because it's like, well, that's just who they are.
Yeah, and I feel like it is hard to compare this to other Spielberg films, considering Spielberg has made some of the greatest movies of all time. I mean, I just think there's this feeling of emotion and awe that you normally get from a Spielberg movie that I was just so frustrated at myself for not being able to feel during this movie. Like I was like arguing with myself the entire like last week. I was like, you don't like Disclosure Day? You're such an idiot.
Yeah, I was like, did I get it wrong?
Like, come on, like what are you missing here? And I was like on the walk home from the movie, the days after, I would like just out in the open, just in public, be discussing my thoughts on Disclosure Day to Caitlin as we're like taking a walk. And this poor girl is just like, we're on a walk, and I'm just like, yeah, but I understand what Spielberg's trying to do.
But the deer was dumb. The deer was dumb.
it just didn't make sense.
Yeah. Don't grab the sticks too hard.
the transition from the deer's eye to the alien, I thought was pretty sick.
Yeah.
That was
cool.
clean. That was clean.
I did like the Nixon visiting bit. That was funny. I will say it. Nixon bringing his TV buddies in. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Disclosure Day for me was just very disappointing, unfortunately. Because there is something great in there. And I think that's where it's even more disappointing is like you can feel the greatness in there. It's just busy. It's busy. And because of that, it loses a lot of the emotional impact of it. But no, that was it was good. It's good to talk about. Not a great movie, but a good to talk about.
You mind if I talk about The Invite?
Oh, please. I am pumped
to
watch this.
Dude.
So please.
So right now, this is my second favorite movie of the entire year. I have it right behind Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
I think that Olivia Wilde with Don't Worry, Darling. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people claim it to be. I think that
I do not like Don't Worry, Darling.
I think I have it at like 3 stars. But she's back.
She's back?
She's back.
She's back.
I think that the way that the camera moves around this apartment, it gets you so anxious throughout this movie. But dude, it's so funny. Like there are moments here that are just like embarrassing. I talked to Caitlin after she's like, there were moments where I was like sinking in my seat because I was like so embarrassed for them.
Oh, that's awesome.
And with that being said, Seth Rogen here, this is just Seth Rogen. I'm not going to say at his peak, but he is perfect here. Perfect. And I think Olivia Wilde, I mean, everyone in this cast, Penelope Cruz, Ed Norton, everyone works. And it feels like someone that you've like, it's like this, not like cartoon character, but it feels like someone you know.
Yeah.
Each of these characters feels relatable to a certain extent. And it's just so absurdly funny. But then it somehow finds this really good groove of like having like a couple good emotional beats in it too. So it throws you straight into the madness too. Like there's no time to get set up. And they're just like, oh, hey, honey, how was your day? Like, no, like you get thrown into madness. Like it's like within minutes, you are in the atmosphere that you're going to be in for the rest of the movie. And it's awesome. And it's so cool how Olivia Wilde uses this apartment to shoot this movie.
Yeah.
It's like mirrors, doorways, windows. It is because you easily could have just shot this movie and made it the most generic looking, visual style ever.
Yeah.
But she uses like doorways to help like frame her shots. She uses windows to kind of just convey where people are. And I guess, I don't know, but I'm so excited for people to watch this. I think that it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It certainly has some freaky moments. The R rating is, I think it is R rated, but in my opinion, it feels earned.
Yeah.
Man, it's such a fun time. It has like a great emotional through line to it. So I really want to go watch this again when it comes out. I know it has like a nationwide release in early July.
It's a weird rollout. It like does like this, and then there's like a limited release, then there's like a limited wider release, then there's like a wide release.
But I'm pumped. I think that people are really going to eat this up. It feels like one of those. I don't know if like it's like a classic comedy, but I don't know. Again, when I think of like classic comedies in my childhood, I think of like 21 Jump Street. This movie is very much not that. But it's, man, A24 being attached to this movie too. It's so on brand.
Yeah. Oh, that rocks.
It rocks. I can't wait for you guys to watch it.
Very excited for that one.
A24 got attached to this, right?
Yeah. They're releasing it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then I did look up for Disclosure Day. Sorry, the box office numbers.
Where we at?
So Disclosure Day is projected to drop 61% in the second.
That's not bad.
Box office. No, especially considering how I feel like the word of mouth was pretty
mixed.
Rough.
Yeah. And with Toy Story 5 releasing, I feel like which would take a lot of the premium screens. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yep.
Huh. All right. Shout out Spielberg. Still got it. Still got the juice. Unless he's making West Side Story. and the juice is gone.
I liked West Side Story.
I know. I'm just saying box office wise.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, I feel like that's also like, what is that? Pre-COVID?
I think that was post-COVID. It was like 21, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, West Side. Yeah, it's 21.
Okay, yeah, I feel like that it has that's pretty big fact to acknowledge as well. Okay, fair. But that's the invite. I'm excited for you guys to watch it.
Very amped to see it. Very, very amped. All right, let's jump into some news and some trailers. Let's start with our biggest piece of news. Last week, Matt Reeves released the first shot of The Batman Part 2, saying, here we go. I think we're just going to be those guys who just like every couple of days like bring up the Batman again. But I think we're very close to getting that first look at the suit. And Mr. Hester, when that suit gets released,
all hell will break loose on
God.
Twitter. Twitter's going to become
a
madhouse.
Yeah. Amped.
Dude, I feel like Matt Reeves can post like him literally just like sitting in a chair and people be like, oh my gosh, what does this mean for the Batman Part 2?
12 25-minute videos instantly uploaded to YouTube. Are you understanding
his
this?
black
Yes. What's with
his
this
black
chair?
shoe has a red line on it. What does that mean? I mean, well actually
in Batman 256 actually there was a red line in that comic.
He's holding a card. Do you think that the Joker could possibly be attached to this?
Do you notice in the background there's a Chipotle bowl that looks a little empty? Now, what that ties to is actually a very famous villain.
That's what it knows. Yeah, like that's exactly what's going on, though. Like I swear, my feed is getting blown up. Yeah, and I'm glad that people are excited for this movie. I'm excited for this movie.
Layers of delusion on top of each other, just waiting for some bit of news to come out. Just
wait until people are able to like catch some steam on is he in the DCU with everyone else. That might be my personal hell.
I was just about to ask you that because
we're
getting Superman 2 next summer, and then the next October we're getting the Batman 2. So there is a non-zero chance that Superman 2 ends with a post-credit scene that teases the Batman 2.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's like a man, but he's a bat.
Yeah.
Cut the black.
Clark, I need you to head to Gotham to do a story on this Batman situation.
Or no, they just send
you're in the theater just throwing your icy at the screen. No, stop it, take it back.
They send Skylar Gisondo. They're like, we need you to go to Gotham. Yeah. And like the final shot is him just like downtown, and he's just like, this is not where I need to be.
The end of the Batman 2 is Skylar Gisondo approaching Bruce Wayne. I got to talk to you about the Justice League Initiative.
Hey, the Daily Planet. We've been bought out by who? Wayne Enterprise.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne. Oh, no, that'd be so great. I know that you've maybe warmed up to it a little bit and still kind of against it, but I do think that it just you have such a popular Batman with an up and coming, getting more popular. It just feels so dumb. And like, you got to put our greedy corporate hat on for a second. You know that there's executives in that building on the C-suite level being like, but come on. Like,
I know.
Like,
see, at this point, I'm not even like so opposed to it. Like, I think, obviously, I'd still prefer for them to stay separate. I'm done. I'm done with the speculation online.
Yeah. At least just be like, it's not happening.
Yeah. Like,
but then every time you say it's not happening, we're just like, yeah, right.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not the werewolf. I'm not the.
Yeah.
It's like the Andrew Garfield bit.
Yeah.
But
we know.
We'll find out. I feel like Comic-Con this year, they have a.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Like, they're not just going to like, dude, if Batman is joining that universe, they're not just going to casually drop it in the movie. They're going to let you know months in advance before that movie happens. Like, gonna, like, remember when Black Adam came out and everyone's like, oh my gosh, Henry Cavill's coming back as Superman.
Speaking of Black Adam,
so many people
staring at my Black Adam popcorn bucket right now.
Oh my gosh.
Right at it.
Oh my gosh. You're a maniac.
A man of high quality.
But you know how many people went to go see Black Adam because they do Henry Cavill just have a 30-second appearance at the end of that movie.
Yeah. I mean, I personally went to see Black Adam to see the hierarchy of the DC universe change forever.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
And The Rock is going to change the hierarchy of summer blockbusters in 2026.
Moana
with
too.
Moana
action.
summer. We're
Yeah.
here. But I think if Batman is going to be in this universe, or he's going to show up in some capacity, they're going to let everyone know like a year in advance. The marketing team is not going to miss this opportunity, because I think if they were to just like stay quiet, would it be one of the greatest, like, oh my gosh, he's in it. Like, you're sitting in the theater and it happens and you're just like, your jaw drops to the floor,
Yeah.
But just knowing these corporations, there's no way in hell they keep it that big of a secret till the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to want everyone to know that he's in it, because they're going to want all the money. Like,
I think
you had Batman in the project that infinitely has like a 30%.
I think if it goes a
box
certain
office
direction, I think if Batman is in Superman, they tease it. I think if Superman is in Batman, they don't, if that makes sense. I think because Batman for me is a for sure hit. Like, you could put Batman could be painting with Bob Ross for 2 hours and it'd make $800 million or more. Superman to me, though, is obviously still a growing franchise after the last few decades of mediocrity, and obviously the last one was good and did really well, but like they're still trying to build this franchise. So to me, if we go into Superman 2 and there's a bit of like a rumor mill circulating like Batman's in this, I mean, obviously it seems like Wonder Woman's already in this too, which, hey, 2016, we're back. We're just doing it. We're doing it again. Cue the Muppets singing. We're doing a sequel. But I do feel like if you're going to tease it one way or the other, it's only that direction.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. No, but that's the Batman. Next up, our only other piece too is 2 huge trailers. So we got our first look, I guess our second first look at Shrek 5, releasing officially next summer, June 30th, 2027. How do you feel about Shrek 5? That new animation style.
Look how they massacred my boy.
It does feel, which is so interesting. After Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which does change the animation style for the better, it feels like this changes it for the worst.
I saw someone say it the best online. This looks like if Illumination made a Shrek movie.
Yeah.
They just look so squishy.
They do look maybe, but then again, Shrek obviously makes fun of the current day's animation. Maybe that's part of the bit.
Maybe. I think it's funny because we're talking about, holy cow, you have Toy Story. They certainly look a whole lot different from their first movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like throughout the animation process, they've still obtained this distinct look that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like Shrek to me. I feel like Donkey looks different.
Donkey looks the most different to me.
To me,
Donkey looks strange. I think Shrek looks pretty similar. I think Fiona looks pretty similar.
Did you see the kids?
Oh, dude, they got the broccoli haircut.
They gave him the haircut that all the kids in high school have.
Do you know who's voicing that? One of those Shrek kids, though, by the way.
Who?
The Jizzman, Skylar Gisondo.
Oh.
Everything comes back to Jimmy Olsen, man.
All right. They pulled me back in.
Yeah, right? Just when I was
take
out.
back what I said.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you feel the same, right? It just like feels, it's almost like a parody.
It does. It feels just like off.
That being said, it's still Shrek, though. Like, this is still an exciting franchise that I have an insane amount of nostalgia attached to. So I'll be there. But
yes,
the animation does, when I saw it, I kind of did a double take, like, whoa.
I think I need to see a bit more of it because, I mean, I think part of the problem maybe is like Shrek is so ingrained in our culture.
Yeah.
That like, what these characters look like. And also we've had a lot of like legacy animation sequel. I mean, Toy Story 5, for example, Toy Story 5 obviously looks very different than Toy Story 1, but it's a natural evolution of these characters. They look more like what you thought they looked like. Where this is a stylistic difference, but it also doesn't go far enough. Where like I think Puss in Boots: The Last Wish went far enough where it looked better. This looks so similar yet different enough where it doesn't grab it enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like Shrek, like I'm not saying Shrek should look like an old man, but
Give me old man Shrek.
why isn't Shrek looking like, you know, Hugh Jackman in the new Robin Hood movie? Like, why is he not like
Yeah, give me
this
old grizzled Shrek.
like, come on. He looks the same that we've always seen him, and his features, that is not
Give me
necessarily
Fiona
animation.
with some gray hair.
Like we should see these characters. They're not going to age them because they're ogres. They don't age, or maybe there is some, I don't know. But man, it looks fun. It looks like a Shrek movie.
Yeah, I'm in on Shrek. I'm still in. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm just like a little surprised by the visual.
Yep. The minions are going to show up. But boy. Did you see? I saw this thing online that there's a sequence in the Minions movie where, and this could totally be
in the new Minions movie,
the biggest lie. Not with Shrek. Sorry, I saw a statement online, and I found this online. So again, take this with a grain of salt. That there's a sequence in the new Minions movie where they speak like the Minion language for like 5 or 10 minutes.
I believe that completely.
Straight.
Dude, the Facebook moms are gonna love that scene. You know they meet George Lucas in the new Minion movie?
Yeah.
Awesome. Honestly,
that's how they pull me back in. That's how they pull me back in, dude. Like I'm like, yeah.
If they do a bit where the Minions are pitching George Lucas the Phantom Menace, like if it's like, but boy, midichlorians, but boy, like I would be so like 5 stars immediately, fully in. They're like, it's just a Minion being like, well, what about pod racing? Have you considered that? Like, I'm in. That would be very funny to me if they just like parody. I would be so on that.
Illumination. The ball is in your court.
Let's see it. Speaking of Illumination, Mario, $1 billion. Good for it.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Michael Jackson's almost on its way as well. Also, Jack, do we have to have a conversation about Coleman Domingo and his project choices? I'm ready to at least be open to the conversation.
Okay, I get it. You have Euphoria. I get it. But to me, I'm like, Euphoria, he'd been attached to that for so long. And I've seen comments online stating that he is a highlight of that show.
I think that's fair.
As well as I would say, Steven Spielberg comes to you and says, hey, let's make a movie. I'm not saying no.
Can I just give you, so since Sing Sing, right? We'd all agree Sing Sing was just big coming onto the scene. All right. Since Sing Sing, The Color Purple, which, you know, wasn't a huge hit or anything. Drive Away Dolls, which was not great. He's the voice of Norman Osborn in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now we got The Electric State, Dead Man's Wire, Wicked for Good, The Running Man, Michael, Euphoria, and Disclosure Day. He also was in the show The Four Seasons, which I really like. But, like, haven't been a lot of big movies there. And the ones he is in are kind of stinkers.
I mean, I will say, I think when I still see, like, The Running Man, I think he's one of the better parts of that movie.
That's what I'm saying. He's a standout in not great movies, which is like, is that a bad thing?
I think right now he's having his moment, and he's like, I'm going to try and, I mean, I'm not going to say he's necessarily cashing out. And I think Disclosure Day, like, I think he's solid. I don't necessarily think it's his best work, but I think Disclosure Day, I think that's a good pick. And I think a lot of people would agree that I think it is unfortunate. I think Michael, he's one of the better parts of that movie.
That's what I'm saying. He's like a good part in just okay movies.
I know.
And I just
that's okay though.
I just feel like he needs to, he needs a really good one soon.
It's okay. He honestly keeps me excited for these bad movies.
I think that we're only a few years away from a Coleman Domingo in a comic book universe if he keeps selecting the way he's selecting. I'm just saying. Mr.
We'll
Mr.
see.
Domingo,
Maybe
as a long-time listener of the show, come on.
Maybe him and Glenn Powell could meet up
Again, Running Man.
in the comic book universe.
Yeah.
Glenn Powell, I don't know though. I agree. I think you also have something as incredible as Sing Sing. Like everything else is gonna look pretty meh.
That's fair. That's fair.
I agree, though. I think he could have. I mean, The Color Purple got a 3.6 on Letterboxd.
I'm just saying, like from like a impact, perspective.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, it was a remake. Yeah, I'm kind of with you though. All of this stuff has come out in the past year, so Drag Away Dolls was probably the exception. I mean, obviously, Running Man, Wicked, and Michael were kind of the past year, so. I think Disclosure Day was a good pick. I think that he's still got the sauce, so we'll see. Hopefully, we can get him in a couple more things in the future.
All right. Last but not least, Spider-Man. We got the new trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Tickets went on sale. I was able to snag that early Wednesday screening, and oh boy. Cinema is back on the menu, boys, because this looks sensational. Some might even say spectacular, amazing. Yeah, it's Spider-Man. Jack, what did you think? Obviously, I'm the Spider-Man resident.
Yeah,
but
it looked a lot better.
It looks very good.
It's a lot going on, and honestly, I'm kind of for it.
Yeah,
I feel like. Especially considering we've been gone or we haven't seen him in so long.
It's been a long time.
It's been what, 3 years? Or, yeah,
4,
3.5, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see his return. I think this visually looked much better than the last trailer.
I agree.
Personally, I think a lot of the visuals I was kind of disappointed by in the first trailer, but here I think I'm like, all right. I think they're trying something new. Also, this will probably be the best looking Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
I think it already, just from the trailers, it already is. And
unless they just have like abysmal scenes.
Yeah, they're just hiding the really bad stuff.
Yeah.
But folks,
I thought it looked good.
He's swinging through the city. John Watts, we're good, buddy. We're good. We got a new Spider-Man in town.
And dude, Hulk looks great.
Hulk looks great. I'm very in on Hulk. We haven't even got to see Sadie Sink. Obviously, we've got like teased of her, but we haven't seen her character actually. The Punisher, I think, looks really good. Tombstone's in this. We haven't even seen him yet. I think that this looks awesome. I do agree. I think there's a lot going on here. But for some reason, to me, it feels more balanced than like a Spider-Man 3 or even like a Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because I think with those, they really committed to having like 3 or 2 villains, where this feels like you kind of get villains of the week kind of vibe of like opening a few pages of a Spider-Man comic where he's taking down somebody because the larger bad. And I think that is a very interesting take because we literally see in this trailer him take down Scorpion, which feels early on in the movie. If the way the trailer plays is accurate, where like he's getting obviously some new changes and powers. But no, I'm in on this. And like the web tornado is so sick. The
look inside his suit is awesome. Like
yes, like right here next to the eye, sweet. Yeah. No, I'm very excited for Brand New Day. I think this could be a great, and everything Tom Holland's been saying is like he's really, really excited again to be Spider-Man. He's like got a lot of plans for the future to be Spider-Man. So I do think that this is a great setup for 4, 5, and 6.
We're getting the symbiote. Like there's
yeah. This feels primed for the symbiote. I really hope that they are brave enough at the end of this one to have MJ reject Peter.
Ooh.
I really don't know if they will be, but that just feels like a wonderful setup for the symbiote to come in and take over. like you already like the whole time this movie is supposed to be like Peter's at his lowest. He's at his lowest. He's at his lowest. And I think if you have MJ reject him, it truly is his lowest. And it feels like that's the perfect time for him to be taken over by the symbiote.
Yeah.
And then Gwen Stacy pulls up and she's like, "What's up?"
I just think it frustrates me. I mean, the fact that they're in this movie in the first place.
I know.
I don't love that. I think the way that they set it up in the third movie, and look, this is totally valid. In the moment, he says, "Hey, this feels like I'm just going to let them live their life and be happy and not intrude, because when I do, it kind of puts their life in danger too."
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a watchful observer and almost protector of them.
Yeah.
You know? And then immediately at the beginning of this trailer, it's like he's just like, he's got to find a way to talk to them again. And look, valid. So valid. I mean, if you were to tell me like, hey, I got to restart my life and I can't talk to anyone that I love or care about.
Yeah.
In the moment, if I were to bring them harm, I'd be like, you know what, maybe it is for the best. But mentally, I'd struggle with that. That'd be hard. So I think them bringing him back isn't like the worst thing, but still, I don't love it, because it's almost like the goodbye we got in the end of 3 is like, all right, we're bringing in all the other characters. Like, we're gonna get Gwen Stacy, we're gonna get Black
and maybe
Cat.
that's what it ends up being, right? Like we don't see yet that moment of Peter, I guess, reuniting in the same vein. Like maybe that's the choice he makes again. Like I know maybe it's a little redundant, but maybe the choice he makes again is like, you know, I obviously at the end of 3, he has the letter and is like ready to kind of reintroduce himself, and he's like, "No, I won't." I think she's gonna find the letter.
Do we think? I think the only way. I don't know if this is reasonable thinking at all. To me, I think the only way Zendaya gets kicked out of this franchise is if she's dead.
The death of Zendaya?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't like, is that crazy to say? Like, I feel like it's gotten to a point where
I think it's hard to do the death of a beloved Spider-Man like girlfriend without having goblins somewhere in these.
I know, but I mean, I think obviously they killed May off last time, and I think that was fantastic. I mean, obviously it sucked that May was gone, but I think that was one of the better emotional beats we'd gotten since Endgame.
I think if anything, Ned is the one to die. I think if Ned dies in this, that could tell Peter he needs to stop with MJ, because it's like,
I'd agree with either of them.
Yeah,
because I think we always play this game with Spider-Man where he's like, "Oh, I could have the best of both worlds."
You can't.
I hate to break it to you, pal.
Sorry, buddy. We need you broke. That's not how this works for us.
It's just about every movie has said, with great power
comes great responsibility.
Comes great responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I feel like the summer of Spider-Man though. I'm like really excited for this.
I've seen some stuff online saying that. Do you think they could kill Tom Holland off in this movie?
So I did see the rumor mill, and I don't know how truth it is, but obviously there's the famous comic of, you know, Spider-Man coming out of the grave in the black suit. Yep. I did see a bit of a rumor mill that like Peter saves New York by defeating Hulk, but in the process dies. And then the post-credit scene is him clawing out of the grave in the black suit, which would be very awesome, to be honest. Like, it'd be so sick.
Yep.
But like, so that, you know, that could be something we do see.
Because we got to think, like, why is he not in Doomsday?
In Doomsday.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's got to be some sort of connect on why he's not there.
Yeah.
Right? Because like he's connected with, I mean, the Avengers aren't oblivious to like, we need to put together a group of people that could, you know, fight against this massive villain. Let's just not call up New York City's biggest hero. Let's, you know, and obviously maybe they could play.
Daredevil's gonna be in this movie.
Yeah. But to me, I feel like they have to make it intentional. They have to say, all right, Spider-Man is not going to be in this movie because maybe
I think
he
that's
breaks
fair.
maybe he breaks all the bones in his body that's possible,
Yeah.
And he's like and he's just like
Yes.
But like I just got to think there's got to be something at the end of this movie that doesn't allow him or they're going to have to do some crazy setup in Doomsday to be like, yeah, Spider-Man, he's taking his Spider-Man's doing his like clinicals or something, bro has something more important to do.
So he's got tests. I don't know. So
Yeah.
He's
in his master's program.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I think that could work.
I'm excited though, because I think there's a lot of things they could do with this movie, and I think there's a lot of potential. I think especially with the ending. I think the ending is huge. I think how they end this and bleed into Secret Wars is going to be very important.
Yep, agreed.
I mean, the symbiote Spider-Man is like, it's what the cover of Secret Wars, the original comic.
The original. It's the first appearance of the black suit.
So
before people even knew it was Venom, it was just a black suited Spider-Man.
There's no way. I think we might get a little flash of the symbiote in this movie.
I think for sure what this also means is the Doomsday trailer is coming out at Comic-Con, because this releases the week after Comic-Con.
Come out after.
Yes, the week after Comic-Con. So I'm going to go with Doomsday for sure at Comic-Con. And then the week after, the trailer will play before it. That just feels, talk about brand synergy. That feels, really aligned on all of our vectors. Yeah. To have a strong Q4, we need to align our vectors here in Q2.
Well, they'll have to.
Yeah.
It'll be just like No Way Home, where the movie came out, and for like an entire week, they didn't do any promo for like Andrew or Toby.
Yeah.
And as soon as that week was over, they're like, guys, look, Toby and Andrew in this movie. You got to come see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be the thing with maybe like, or I don't know if they were to throw the symbiote in, then they did throw it in the marketing. But obviously, I think there would be something in the trailer. Well, again, Spider-Man's not going to be in the trailer.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's not going to be in the trailer.
That'll be exciting. We're so close to it. We're so close.
You guys have a great year for Comic-Con. I think there are some incredible things that could be discussed and brought to light at this event. And
Masters of the Universe 2. Masters of the Universe 2. Please.
And playing Skeletor again, Jared Leto.
Let's go.
The crowd goes crazy.
Jonah Hill.
And that's Superman. That'll never not be funny to me.
That's such a good bit. It's actually gotten funnier over time. Just like where his career has gone, it's very funny. No, but that's it. Not a whole lot of news or anything today, but like we said, some heavy hitters. Next week we got Supergirl. So obviously the second iteration, or I guess not iteration, but the second piece of this new DC universe. Very excited for that one. And then it should be all three of us next week as well. And then I believe the week after is a big one. Is that right? Am I remembering correctly?
The 9th. I think it's just Minions.
Oh yeah, because that's 4th of July week.
4th of July weekend. Yeah, I think it's just Minions.
Oh, also this week, Jackass 2 or Jackass 5, whatever comes out. Minions, Young Washington. July 10th is the new Evil Dead, as well as Moana.
Moana Summer.
Then July 17th, The Odyssey. And then it's a week off for Comic-Con, and then we're back with Spider-Man Brand New Day. So our next 5 episodes are going to be insane, to say the least. And then, actually, after Spider-Man Brand New Day comes a trio, 3 in a row weeks of movies I'm very excited about. One being One Night Only, the Callum Turner, Monica Barrero rom-com. Then the end of Oak Street, which the more I think about it, the more excited I am about it. Yeah. And then our sweet, sweet prince does return. That's right. Jason Statham, baby, in Mutiny. A summer Statham? Do my eyes deceive me?
You just can't outrun a working man.
Yeah. That was nice. I like that one. That was nice. All right. Anything else, Mr. Jack?
No,
All right.
that's it.
And for Jack, myself, and for Charles, we'll see you next week for Supergirl Summer, baby. Let's go.